Okay.
A pleasant morning to everyone. We are here for a webinar on the inspirational leadership, as today we are celebrating all the young at heart, vibrant in mind, and beautiful youths all over the world. Happy International Youth Day. I kindly request Mr. Karthik, NSS Program Officer, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
Respected guest of honor, Ms. Sanmati Karthik, founder and CBO, Witty Wise Coimbatore, Honorable Principal, Vice Principal, HODs, faculty members, and student friends. Good morning to all. I am privileged and immensely honored to deliver the welcome address on this International Youth Day. As Swami Vivekananda rightly said, today's youth are the heroes of tomorrow. It's the youth who are going to build tomorrow's world. International Youth Day is observed annually on August 12th. It is meant as an opportunity for governments and others to draw attention to youth issues worldwide. International Youth Day reminds us that we must always value the young energy of the country because they will make the future. If you are young, then you have everything in your favor. So make the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The strongest action for a woman is to love herself, be herself, and shine amongst those who never believed she could. One such thriving woman with spark that is inbuilt in her is our today's speaker, Mrs. Sanmati Karthik, founder and CBO, Witty Wise Coimbatore. Ma'am has completed her BE Computer Science in Anna University and her MBA Counseling Psychology in ESSEC, Asia Pacific, Singapore. She is a corporate trainer and a charismatic individual with positive vibes drawn by global experience. She has trained over 7,000 senior executives and students and also set up 17 startups in and around India and Malaysia. In 2012, Ma'am was a senior management executive of Singapore Police Force, and in the year 2015, she was the regional and training relationship manager in American Express Banking Corporation. Currently, she is the founder and CBO of Witty Wise. We have the right person on this day to enlighten us with her speech. Ma'am, I kindly request you to take over.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope I'm audible now. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Miss. Don't know what is your name, but still, thank you for the introduction. So, a warm good morning to one and all who is watching this video today on live. And here we have this private chat. So, if you have any questions during this presentation or during the speech, you can openly ask your questions in the private chat so that I can answer your questions as well. So, as rightly said, today is the International Youth Day. Let me share my screen. Give me a minute. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Okay. So, inspirational leadership. Before we start, what is inspirational leadership? What is leadership first, guys? So leadership is not about being bossy. Leadership. Can you mute yourself, please? Yes, thank you. So, leadership is not about being a boss in your work, being a representative of the class, or being an academician in a university. Leadership is all about how do you take your team along with you. Leadership is not just about talking about leadership, but how do you handle the leadership gracefully is what leadership is all about. So, 58% of Harvard Business Schools has confirmed that the view of transformational leadership styles for CEO, be it a CEO, be it a class representative, be it a college president who owns the operates a firm positively influences both the objective and subjective performances of the firm. So when you are a leader and not a boss, when you are taking your time with this, your capability mapping, your team's strength, your SWOT analysis of your team, the SWOT analysis of your fellow friends is what you call it as a team. So before we jump into a leadership, we'll need to know what is a team is all about. So team is nothing but when you have like-minded people all together and you run for a similar goal. When you look for a goal, கோல்னு சொல்லும்போது எல்லாத்துக்கும் வந்து they just think about something very 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 big, but we forget about small little things which we don't do in our daily lives. Last students what we do is நம்ம பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்டுக்கு போகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி நம்மளோட சிவி வந்துட்டு எல்லாத்த விட யூனிக்காக இருக்கணும், இல்லை வந்துட்டு we have to stand out of others so that we can get the work அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறோம். பட் எவ்வளோ பேர்த்தோட சிவி டெம்ப்ளேட்டடாக இல்லாமல் இருக்கு? That's a very big question, Ilya. We just take our CV from a template which is on the internet, or our seniors, or we just go with the flow. We just get it and change the names, and your fellow department members, we just change our names, change our address, father name, mother name, date of birth, whatever your particulars, you just change it and present it to your recruiters. Is that what a team building is all about? Is that what leadership is all about? But leadership, as young people now, you all are called the millennials or the Gen Zs or one. So you guys have the potential. You are fueled by content. Right from beginning, you have a lot of information in hand, a lot of sources to move around. Like I think back in 1990s, if there is a dosa, it's just a dosa. Now you have varieties of dosa, 100 and 200 varieties of dosa. So you have a lot of items in front of you as options, be it template for your resume, be it putting your team in place, be it bringing your fellow members for a presentation or a conference. You have a lot of options. So இவ்வளோ ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் இருந்தும் ஏன் லீடர்ஷிப் கேப்பபிலிட்டி இப்போ இருக்கிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு கம்மியாக இருக்குன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க நம்ம ரிக்ரூட்டர்ஸ். இண்டஸ்ட்ரி ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் பீப்புள் ஆர் upscaling their current employees in their organizations instead of getting new people. They feel that the leadership capability is missing. So what is the leadership capability? That is what we are going to talk about. There's something called transformational leadership. So what is the difference between values and ethics? I'll just give you guys 2 minutes to think about it. I'm not seeing the chat box right now. Maybe later I'll see. If you could guys write down what is the difference between values and ethics. ஏன்னா ஒரு லீடருக்கு வந்து இந்த ரெண்டுமே ரொம்ப முக்கியம். இது ரெண்டும் ஒண்ணுதானா இல்லை வேற வேறையா அப்படின்றது நீங்க you just think about it. I'll give you maybe another 1 minute. Before we I think a lot of people would have watched this movie. I'm going to play this again to make you understand the difference between the values and ethics. Let me quickly run through this 3-minute video. You guys can have a look. It is going to be a little bit entertaining also, seeing this on this International Youth Day. So I'm going to play it right now.
பாகுபலியின் மனைவி தேவசேனை வெட்டிய குற்றத்திற்கான விசாரணையை ராஜமாதா முன்னிலையில் பண்டிதர் குடிமக்கள் சாட்சியாக மகிழ்மதியின் பேரரசர் பல்வாழ் தேவர் இப்பொழுது நடத்துவார்.
ஆகட்டும். இதை பற்றி நீ ஏதேனும் கூற விரும்புகிறாயா தேவசேனா? எந்த விசாரணையும் இல்லாமல் என் கைகளில் சங்கிலி போட்டு விட்டீர்கள். நான் தான் குற்றவாளி என ஏற்கனவே முடிவெடுத்து விட்டீர்கள். இதென்ன நியாயம்?
அது மகிழ்மதியின் விதிமுறை. உன்மேல் தவறில்லை என்று நிரூபிக்கும் வரை நீ குற்றவாளி.
காட்டுமிராண்டி கூட்டம் கூட இப்படி ஒரு சட்டத்தை தீட்டாது. உங்கள் சாசனங்களை நெருப்பில் எரியுங்கள், உங்கள் சட்டங்களை கடலில் எரியுங்கள். மதிக்கெட்ட இந்த அரசுக்கு மகிழ்மதி என்ற பெயர் வேறு.
தேவசேனா, மாபெரும் புகழ் பெற்ற இந்த சாம்ராஜ்யத்தை பற்றி இன்னொரு வார்த்தை தப்பாக பேசினால்
வானை முட்டும் கோட்டைகளில் மலை என நிற்கும் சிற்பங்களில் அளப்பது புகழ் அல்ல, பறந்து விரிந்த மனங்களில் அளப்பதே புகழ். இங்கே அப்படி மனங்களும் இல்லை, புகழும் இல்லை. வெட்கம்.
கேட்டீர்களா மகாராஜா? உங்கள் முன்னாலேயே இப்படி பச்சையாக இழுத்து பேசுகிறார் என்றால் நீங்கள் இல்லாத போது எப்படியெல்லாம் பேசியிருப்பார் என்று யோசியுங்கள் மகாராஜா.
பாகுபலி! பாகுபலி!
என்ன நடந்தது? நீ சொல் சேதுபதி.
கோவில் முழுவதும் பக்தர்கள் கூடியிருந்தனர். அப்போது தேவசேனை அவர்களும் நுழைய வந்தார். அது நீங்கள் வரும் வேளை என்பதால் நான் அவரை மேற்கு வாயில் வழியாக வர சொன்னேன்.
பாகோ, என்ன இது? பாதிக்கப்பட்டவனை ஏன் பயமுறுத்துகிறாய்?
வஞ்சகனின் நெஞ்சில் இருக்கும் நஞ்சு கெஞ்சி கேட்டால் வராது அரசே.
நீ எல்லை மீறுகிறாய் பாகுபலி.
நிறை மாத கர்ப்பிணியின் கைகளில் விலங்கு பூட்டி விசாரணை நடத்தும் இந்த சபை எப்பொழுதோ எல்லை மீறிவிட்டதம்மா.
நிறை மாத கர்ப்பிணியோ தள்ளாடும் கிழவியோ நீயோ நானோ விசாரிக்கும் விதிமுறை ஒன்றுதான். நடந்தது என்னென்று தெரியுமா உனக்கு?
என்ன நடந்தது தேவசேனா?
கோவிலில் பெண்களை ஒரு வரிசையில் வரச் சொன்னான். அப்போது அவர்களின் மேலே கைகளை வைத்து தடவினான். என் மீது கூட கை வைக்க பார்த்தான். விரல்களை வெட்டிவிட்டேன்.
நீ செய்தது தவறு. பெண்களின் மேல் கை வைத்தால் வெட்ட வேண்டியது விரல்களை அல்ல, தலையை.
So, nice watch, right? A binge watching for all of you. Wonderful. So now, இப்போ ஒரு கேள்வி. இதெல்லாம் படமும் இந்த படம் நிறைய பேர் பார்த்திருப்பீங்க. So whatever just Bahubali did is right or wrong. So what is the difference between values and ethics? I'll give you maybe 5 seconds to think about it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So since I'm not seeing the chat, let me explain the difference between what is values and ethics. Values அப்படின்ற ஒன்று வந்து ஒருத்தருக்கும் ஒரு வேல்யூ கண்டிப்பாக இருக்கும். So you might have a class representative, Santosh, Priya, Karthik, you will have a lot of people seeing this. So இவங்களோட ஒரு வேல்யூஸும் அவங்களுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி வச்சுருப்பாங்க. வேல்யூஸை வந்து 2 விதமாக பிரிச்சிருக்காங்க, நேச்சர் அண்ட் நர்ச்சர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. நேச்சர்னால் நம்ம வளர்ந்த விதத்தில் நம்ம சுற்றி இருக்கிற என்விரான்மெண்ட்டை பொறுத்து நம்மளோட நேச்சர் கண்டிப்பாக மாறும். ஸோ உங்களோட வேல்யூஸ் வில் பி பேஸ்ட் ஆன் யோர் நேச்சர். பட் நர்ச்சர் இஸ் வேர் when you get inside a college or when you get inside a corporate company, you change yourself and adapt yourself, your values based on their ethics. So in that I would like to introduce 2 concepts. One is EQ and one is transformational leadership. So EQ, it is not in the scenario இன்னும் பெட்டரா ஹேண்டில் பண்ணியிருக்கிற முடியும் அப்படின்னா என்ன மாதிரி பண்ணிருக்கலாம்னு யோசிக்கிறீங்க? So people, he would have at least spoken to the king and whatever it is. On the ethics, and the Raja and Ukandirkanga, they have a certain set of rules and regulations which needs to be followed. He as a person, he as a husband, he took all EQ in his hands. Avarukku emotions first vandirchu. So when you are a leader, you cannot put your emotions first in front of anyone and you cannot carry the show. When you're a leader, EQ plays a very important role. You will have to look around people your team around, you'll have to put their emotions first, and you have to do capability mapping first. And number two is transformational leadership. Transformational leadership is what we're talking about. It has to be specific. So when you have a comprehensive concept that covers all this charismatic leadership, which is based on your leader's actions, that can create a favorable impression on employees and help him or her establish productive relationships. So when you can see that Bahubali is entering that room, everybody there அங்க இருந்த எல்லா ஜனங்களும் வந்து they were very happy. Okay, இவங்க வராங்க, so வந்து கண்டிப்பா ஏதாவது நல்லது நடக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. So that is what is called transformational leadership. But what the action that has been done was taken over by an EQ, which resulted in a very bad face. அது கதைக்காக அப்படி வச்சிருந்திருக்கலாம். But values and ethics of a particular person has to be aligned. Your values with your college's ethics has to be aligned to make you a transformational leader. And number two is leaders can take various actions to make a good impression on your fellow mates, your vision and mission. So if you guys will be entering your corporate companies, your college has a certain rules and regulations, vision and mission. So how are we as a tool are we going to engage in your vision and mission? இதெல்லாம் காலேஜுக்கு மட்டும்தான் இருக்கணுமா, கம்பெனிக்கு மட்டுமா இருக்கணுமா அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா கண்டிப்பாக கிடையாது. A lot of people at your young age, they started envisioning themselves as leaders. Right now, Elon Musk, Sundar Pichai, a lot of great big leaders, they started envisioning themselves as leaders when they were at your age. So அதெல்லாம் என்னால பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா it is very easy. Being a leader is very 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 easy. நிறைய பேர் சொல்லுவாங்க கடவுள் is a leader, God is a leader, God is where we find our support in. கடவுளோட மார்க்கெட் ஒட்டிக்கிறது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஈஸி. நிறைய பேர் சொல்ற மாதிரி ஒரு சப்போர்ட் கிடைச்ச ஒரு இடத்துல வந்துட்டு if you can support your team members, if you can support your friend, ஒரு அந்த ஒரு certain timeல அவங்களோட சப்போர்ட் கண்டிப்பா தேவை அப்படின்றப்போ நீங்க வந்து when you can support your fellow mates, that is where they see God in you. So you will be not only a leader, you will be more than a leader, is what transformational leadership is all about. And managing performance. So how do you manage performance? This is all about the company. So staying knowledgeable about your industry specific areas and determining how to improve performance and grow and save it. Yes, this is the factor we are going to talk about. Inspirational leadership is all about 3P formula. So 3P formula is nothing but 3 P's are performance is equals people plus process. So how do we differentiate people and process is what we're going to talk about. Private chatல யாருமே மெசேஜ் பண்ணல போல இருக்கு. Wonderful. So okay, yes, I got the comments. Wonderful. So performance 3P, performance is equal to people plus process. ஸோ ஒரு பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ்ன்னு எடுத்துக்கிட்டேன், ஒரு காலேஜில் ஒரு பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ், ஓகே, என்னோட டெஸ்ட்டுக்கு என்னோட செமஸ்டருக்கு ஒரு பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ், என்னோட லேபில் ஒரு பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ். வேர் டு யூ ஒர்க் as a team? So work as a team is when you guys in a labல வந்து ஒரு particular group will be working. In your final year project, a particular group will be working. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people here, you have put yourself in a group for your final year projects or few projects which you are doing. ஸோ உங்க குரூப்ல ஒரு 5 பேர் இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா அந்த 5 பேர் தான் உங்களோட பீப்புள். வாட் இஸ் தி ப்ராசஸ்? Any idea what is the process? So the process is all about how you are going to do your certain set of tasks. Racy matrix அப்படின்றது ஒன்று இருக்கு. There is one thing called racy matrix. Racy matrix is something that who are responsible, who are accountable, who are consulted, and who are informed. These are the 4 kinds of people you must have in your team. So when you have a group discussion, I'm pretty sure a lot of people here will have group discussion when you have your placements. So your group discussions will have 4 kinds of people. Number 1 is an initiator. Number one is the initiator, and number two is the people who is going to conclude the group discussion. Number three is the person who will take care of the time, and number four is the person. Can somebody say? Any idea what is the number four person? So initiator, concluder, time managed person, and number four is a person who takes care when the topic is deviated from the ஒரு டாபிக்ல இருந்து இன்னொரு டாபிக் deviate ஆனா we are just going to say sorry, we are deviating from the topic, so can we come back to the topic? Okay, so these are the things which we are going to do for this people who are going to do the group discussion. இதுல எப்படி leadership capability as a HR நம்ம எப்படி கண்டுபிடிப்பாங்க அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, they will just be doing only two people, initiator and the concluder, because initiatorக்கு பயம் கிடையாது, ஒரு லீடருக்கு கண்டிப்பா பயம் இருக்காது, குருட்டு தைரியம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. leaders usually have a lot of குருட்டு தைரியம். And when you can see my name, when they introduce myself, they call me as CBO. So what is the difference between CEO and CBO? What is the CBO? Okay, CEO is basically ஒரு கம்பெனில வந்துட்டு is a chief executing officer. So chief executing officer is something that they will take care of the entire operations. A lot of people, okay, I will suggest you guys one book to read and one movie to watch. Yeah, by end of this session, these will be like a take home for you guys. Number one, the book will be Good to Great, and number two, the movie to be watched is can anybody say? Wonderful. Jeeva Peryasamy, Chief Visionary Officer. Wonderful. Thank you. The movie is Ford versus Ferrari. These are the two books. This is the one book, and this is the one movie which told about the proper visionary and proper team and proper leadership. So these are people. Ford and Ferrari were the competitions, which are two extreme people. Ford was one company which was used like a normal residential purpose, and Ferrari was a sports car. So these guys got into a race. So think about there are things which are impossible. நிறைய பேர் பார்த்திருப்பீங்க, impossible, I am possible, இந்த மாதிரி quotes நிறைய படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. So Chief Visionary Officer, this Ford guy was a CVO of that company. He was not a CEO. A lot of companies என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, COO, CFO தூக்கி CEO போட்டுருவாங்க, which doesn't make sense. So as leaders, vision is very important. What is vision? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? These such the question you'll get when you go and attend a HR round. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you have an answer? Okay, wonderful. So where do you see yourself in 5 years is nothing but where do you envision yourself. It can be anything. I'm going to buy a Maruti Suzuki car or something else. You have to be very sure of it. So nalu visham, when you get into an interview, your leadership capability are few things which they are going to look at. So number one is when you get into a group discussion, be a leader or at least one among the four members, either an initiator or a concluder, or seeing and time managing the time. And also you can also look at deviating from the topic. These are four people in a group discussion a HR would definitely hire. And number two, when you get inside a HR round, your leadership capability, right from your dressing, right from you enter the room, there might be a glass room where you go and just knock the door and enter inside. So you will understand right from when you knock, right from when you enter inside, the entire body language will speak about your leadership capability. So as leaders, before entering into the room of HR, never use of your mobile phones, because when you look at your phones, your body will shrink. Every time or any time when you have a presentation or a conference, make yourself available in a broader position. Like look at something up, like a sky or your billboard, something which is big, which is which is very big, so that your shoulders are not shrinked and it is open, wide open, so that you can, your body language when you enter inside the room is opened, and you give a confident look for your HR. And then when you enter inside your room, what is the first thing you will go and do with the HR? வணக்கம் சார் அப்படிலாம் சொல்லுவீங்களா? Wonderful. So it is more about going and giving a firm handshake. Your handshake has to be firm enough. Make sure your hands are not, your palms are not wet, and you give a firm handshake to the HR and ask, before the HR comes and asks you, how are you today? You can go and ask the HR, how are you today, sir? Good morning. Yes, good morning, sir is a very right answer, Bharat. But the other way around, what you will do is, before the HR comes and asks you, please sit down. Do not go and sit down before the HR asks you to sit down, but ask the HR, how are you doing today, sir? I can see that you're having a long day. So how are you doing today? By that way, you are giving the HR sitting on the other side of the chair a confidence that, okay, you are unique. And number 3 is your resume. Your resume has to be made sure that uh, all your details in the resume has to differ. நீங்க வாயில மட்டும் யூனிக்னு சொன்னா பத்தாது. உங்களோட resume has to be unique. How is it unique? You will have to put your own details. எப்படி உங்களோட பேரை மாற்ற முடியாதோ, எப்படி உங்களோட டேட் ஆஃப் பர்த்தை மாற்ற முடியாதோ, சிமிலர் டு தட் your strengths and weakness cannot be someone else's strengths and weakness. Try doing a SWOT analysis on yourself. I'm pretty sure a lot of you here know about SWOT analysis, but let me repeat it again. SWOT analysis is SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Put a 4-quadrant line, SWOT. Write what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses.
Participants, kindly wait. We'll resume within 2 minutes.
Okay, sorry for the network issue. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are. You can carry on.
Wonderful. Thank you. So sorry for the network issue, guys. So yes, SWOT analysis we were talking about. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats யாரதும் மாற்ற முடியாது. ஸோ உங்களோடது என்னன்னா நீங்க தான் ஃபைண்ட் பண்ணணும். And strengths என்ன அப்படின்னு எழுதுறது வந்து எப்பயுமே வந்து HR will not come and ask what is your weakness, and you will say I'm workaholic, I'm shopaholic. All these things you will come up with, which the HR knows which is not true. நீங்க ஏதோ சொல்லணும்னு சொல்றீங்கன்னு கண்டிப்பா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். So what we are going to do is, you guys have to write down your weaknesses, and you say your weaknesses and how did you overcome that. A lot of times what people, I have seen a very good guy where we hire for an interview, one of my trainer, he came, and the best weakness I could ever hear for the past 2 years is, he said, my communication is very bad. Why is this communication very bad? And he came inside a trainer job. Can you think about it? என் கம்யூனிகேஷன் நல்லா இல்லை அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவர் ட்ரெயினர் வேலைக்கு வந்திருக்காரு. And when I asked this question, what is your weakness? He said, my communication is very bad. So what happened is, so அவர் என்கிட்ட சொல்லும் போது, my communication is very bad, but what I did, I enrolled myself in a Toastmasters club to make sure that I can speak well, I can train well as a trainer. As a technical trainer, I can train my content, and I'm able to communicate clearly with my students. So, my dear guys, it's not about your weakness to the HR. You can say, I'm a very angry person. I get very angry when I'm put under a pressure. But what have you done to overcome that weakness is what the HR is going to look for yourself. So, you as a leader, உங்களை வந்து நீங்க வெளியில லீடரா காட்டிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு நீங்க நினைச்சீங்க அப்படின்னா, these are the only things which can help you guys in the near future. When in next 5 years time you could be working in somewhere, maybe starting businesses. A lot of people here might have this entrepreneurial journey thought. Entrepreneurs I will tell you one short story. In the past 2 years, entrepreneurial rate in India has increased to 63%. Can you guys believe? 23% இருந்து 60% மேல entrepreneurs உருவாயிருக்காங்க இந்த லாக்டவுன் டைம்ல, இந்த COVID-19 uncertain timesல. Why is it? Because they are just starting the company. They don't have a vision in place. A lot of startups never go to the second phase of their company because they don't have a proper vision. They don't have a proper team. They don't have proper client deliverables. So if there are guys who are looking for an entrepreneurial journey, never ever think of starting a company without you having proper goals and throughout passion towards it. Because just passion will just go away in next 2-3 months when you're not having money inside your pocket, and when you don't have money to pay your employees, you're going to struggle. So passion towards your work, passion towards your learning, passion towards your entrepreneur, passion towards anything, kindly pursue it. As leaders, passion pursue பண்றதுக்கு தைரியம் இல்லாதவங்க லீடராவே இருக்கிறதுக்கு தைரியம் இல்லைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So I'm pretty sure a lot of students here, you might be some 18, 19, 20 max. You guys are just 20. It is all about just seeing life in colorful ways, in all different ways. நல்லா இருக்கு, ஜாலியா இருக்கு, காலேஜ் போறேன், இப்போ காலேஜும் இல்லை, ஜாலியா வந்து வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு உட்காந்துக்கலாம், படிக்க வேண்டாம், வேலை கிடைச்சா போலாம். A lot of guys who are never even come to a job when they are given a job. You will have to think about it, guys. Leadership is not you being a leader, it is you being a human. Be a human first. Know yourself first. Knowing yourself is the biggest leadership capability anybody could survive about. If you're not knowing yourself, you're not knowing people around you. What is your capability? என்னால வந்து செமஸ்டருக்கு 20 அரியர் வச்சிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னா, என்னால அடுத்த செமஸ்டர்ல 2 அரியர் கிளியர் பண்ண முடியும்னு நான் எனக்கே சொல்லிக்கிட்டேன்னா, அந்த 2 அரியர் நான் கிளியர் பண்ணியிருந்திருக்கணும். மீதி 24 இருந்தா இருந்துட்டு போகுது. But how many of you do that? How many of you stand by your word? சொன்ன மாதிரி நடந்துக்கணும். நம்ம அம்மாங்கள்லாம் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க, இன்னும் சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டு தான் இருப்பாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். சொன்ன மாதிரி நடந்துக்கிறது தான் லீடர். எவ்வளவு பேர் சொன்ன மாதிரி நடந்துக்கிறீங்கன்னு யோசிச்சுப்பாங்க. Forget about the world outside. Have you told yourself that's something I'm going to do and you're not honored? If you're not being a leader of yourself, if you're not able to control your emotions, if you yourself cannot be able to control your mind, you are opening yourself to a lot of people to control you. As leaders, you will have to take your own responsibility for your emotions, for your actions, for your thoughts. Because what you think here is what you're going to deliver it to the world. Am I right to say that, guys? Yes? Can I have yes, please, in the comments, so that I can see the எவ்வளவு பேர் பார்க்குறீங்க, எவ்வளவு பேர் இல்லை அவங்களே பார்த்து பார்த்து பேசிக்கிறீங்களா? I can see a lot of conversations happening. சாப்பிட்டீங்களா, தூங்குனீங்களா, a lot of things. You always control yourself, Bharat. Wonderful, Bharat. I can see people like this attending my like Bharat, and there was another person who mentioned CVO. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Who are into ஒரு வேலைக்கு வந்து அந்த வேலையை பார்க்கறதுல வந்து ரொம்ப குறியா இருப்பாங்க. I'm telling you, guys, this kind of attitude will take you places. There's another one attitude. Controlling your thoughts, controlling your actions, controlling your emotions is number one habit of a leader. Number two is இன்னொரு பெரிய very important thing which we never ever do. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு attitude இருக்கு. Think about it. நம்ம இந்த விஷயத்தை நம்ம பண்ணவே மாட்டோம், ஆனா இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு விஷயத்தை பண்ணாதான் ஒரு உண்மையான லீடர். Oh, a lot of yeses, Naren. Thank you for that. பொண்ணு கிடைச்சா கல்யாணம் பண்ணலாம். கேப்டன் பிரபாகரன் சார், wonderful. அதையாவது கரெக்டா பண்ணுங்க சார், in 5 years time at least. That is not the destination, I would say. That is a very long journey. Wonderful. The second important point about leadership is தப்பு பண்ணான்னு ஒத்துக்கணும். எத்தனை பேத்துக்கு அந்த தைரியம் இருக்கு? How many of you have seen a video from Mr. Abdul Kalam who has said about his own leader in ISRO? A leadership capability is all about when you have done a mistake. We are all humans. We are all dealing with humans. We are all dealing with human emotions. Of course, we are not robots. Robots are control பண்றதுக்கு கூட humans தான் தேவைப்படுது. So we as leaders, when you do a mistake and when somebody comes and point out to you, this is your mistake, accept your fault right from heart. That is the important capability of a leader. If you're not accountable for your actions or thoughts, you will never go up in life as a leader. Your understanding about yourself and understanding about others comes when you're open to accepting your mistakes. Open to accepting mistakes. Is it very easy? It is easier said than done. Am I right to say that? ஈஸியாக சொல்லிடலாம். என்ன மேடம் வந்து நீங்கள் வந்தீங்க, யூ வாண்டட் டு கிவ் அ 1 hour டாக் அண்ட் யூ ஜஸ்ட் சே தப்பு பண்ணால் ஒத்துக்கோன்றீங்க. தப்பு பண்ணால் எப்படி ஒத்துக்க முடியும்? எல்லாரும் வந்து தே வில் கம் அண்ட் ஜஸ்ட் நான் தப்பாக நினச்சிட மாட்டாங்களா? I'm telling you, my dear guys and girls who are attending this, தப்பு பண்ணா ஒத்துக்கிற அளவுக்கு தைரியம் இருக்கு அவனுக்கு, அந்த தப்பை திருத்திக்கிற அளவுக்கும் தைரியம் இருக்கும். So when you do a mistake, everybody are here, human errors ne வந்து that is what you're going to tell yourself and to tell the people, and thank the person who has pointed out your mistakes. Every time I go and train somewhere in CTS, TCS, Infosys, and a lot of colleges where I go and train, I get my feedbacks. Out of 100, I will get 2 feedbacks saying that yours was boring. I will take that as a positive contribution. So whenever you go and tell something to your friends, make sure that you give a constructive feedback. That is also a part of leadership. எவ்வளோக்கு எவ்வளோ நம்மளால அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிக்க முடியுமோ அவ்வளோக்கு அவ்வளோ நம்ம மற்றவங்களுக்கு சொல்லும் போது அது கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்டிவ் ஃபீட்பேக்காக சொல்லணும். அண்ட் நம்பர் 3, have values in life. If you don't have one, create one value right from today. Today is an auspicious day for all of us. Not all of, okay, I consider myself youth at heart, but for all of you, it's International Youth Day. At least you can start looking at one core aspect of becoming a leader from today, because all of you here are going to be the pillars of the next generation. You're going to create future generations which can bring a lot of changes inside the world. இப்போ நிறைய பேர் my age category people have started working into agriculture now. I look them as leaders, not not people working in corporates and getting a 9 to 5 job. They are not leaders. They're just machines. When you can pursue your passion, when you can have values, when you can accept your mistake and continue doing what is right for yourself and right for the people, you are a true leader. So I'm pretty sure in the past few minutes, I have covered few points to make sure that you become few leaders of yourself and your fellow mates. And I'll conclude this speech by coming up with one last point. Leadership is not all about being a leader, but it is by living and feeling the others as leaders. So if you want to become a leader, or if you want to be seen among the crowd, make sure you create more leaders around you. That is how you become a leader. நீங்க லீடர்னு சொல்லி கிளாஸுக்கு முன்னாடி நின்று கிளாஸ் ரெப்ரசன்டேட்டிவா நிற்கும் போது இட் இஸ் நாட் லீடர். உங்களை மாதிரி நீங்க ஒரு லீடர்னு ஒரு 10 பேர் சொன்னாங்கன்னா உங்களை மாதிரி ஒரு 10 பேர்த்த உருவாக்கும் போதுதான் நீங்க ஒரு லீடர். அதுக்கு நீங்க 10 பேர்த்த உருவாக்குறதுக்கு முன்னாடி you must have your own values. You must be able to accept your flaws and mistakes and able to correct them, and you must be able to have EQ among yourselves. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity, Sri Ramakrishna Polytechnic College, and thank you, wonderful audience, for being a part of this webinar. I hope I have done justice to whatever I've given for. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an inspirational speech on this beautiful day. I kindly request Sheba, lecturer, Department of Instrumentation and Control, to deliver the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
A very good morning to all. A grateful art is a magnet for miracle. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for the event to all dignitaries assembled here. I would like to thank our chief guest, Ms. Shanmati Karthik, founder and CEO of Device Coimbatore, who honored this function with her inspirational thoughts. I would like to thank our beloved principal, vice principal, staff members, students, friends, making this function as a grand success. Once again, I thank one and all present here. Thank you all.